Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Max AC channel.
For this month, since we are once again in the Lenten season this year, I thought we could repeat our theme for this month and do another round of Meatless March, where we'll be making 5 more recipes that are as delicious as they are meatless. For this week's episode, we will be making some spring rolls. For this recipe, you will need some spring roll wrappers, of course, some rice vermicelli noodles, or more specifically, bon hoi, which tends to come pre-sectioned, making it easier to use, but any rice noodles should work. I recommend against using mung bean or cellophane noodles if you can avoid it, since they tend to be too watery and the texture isn't quite right, but you can use them if you can't find any of the other noodles. You will also need some vegetables. Traditionally, you just need some lettuce and some mint leaves, but I also like to include some Thai basil, chives or green onions, and some carrots for some texture and color. But you are welcome to use any other soft greens or vegetables such as cucumbers, cabbage, or bell peppers. Also, for some protein, you may add some shrimp and pork belly for the traditional filling. But in keeping with the theme, I'm going to substitute the pork with some fish cake, which I'm substituting with some imitation crab. You will also want to serve your rolls with some dipping sauce of some kind, which you can buy from the store pre-made. But if you want to make some from scratch, I'll be showing you how to make a homemade peanut sauce and nuoc cham, which is a traditional Vietnamese dipping sauce. For the peanut sauce, you will need 2 tablespoons of oil. I like to use chili oil for this to add some spice and flavor, but any frying oil should work. 2 to 3 minced garlic cloves, a quarter cup of hoisin sauce, 2 to 3 tablespoons of peanut butter, a quarter cup or so of water to thin the sauce out, and some chopped peanuts for topping the sauce. For the nuoc cham, you will need 1 to 2 limes or lemons, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 to 2 tablespoons of warm water, 1 to 2 teaspoons of rice vinegar, 2 to 3 tablespoons of fish sauce, and you may also add some Thai chilies, some minced garlic, and some sliced carrots and or radishes if desired. First, we'll prepare the sauces to give them time to allow the flavors to marinate a little before we make the rolls. For the peanut sauce, in a saucepan, heat up some oil and saute your minced garlic until fragrant. Then add in the hoisin sauce, peanut butter, and water, and mix this thoroughly. Bring this to a boil and then immediately take it off the heat and let it cool in the pan or in a heat-safe bowl. And once it's cooled down, top with the chopped up peanuts and your peanut sauce is ready to use. For the nuoc cham, we'll prepare the ingredients first. Juice your limes, chop your Thai chilies into rings or mince them, mince some garlic, and julienne your carrots and radishes into matchsticks. Then, in a small bowl, add in your sugar and lime juice and mix these together until the sugar is mostly dissolved. Add in the water to help dissolve the sugar some more, and then add in the rice vinegar if using. Once this is all mixed together, add in the fish sauce and mix this until your sauce has a nice amber color. Add some more sugar or lime juice if needed. Then once the flavor is to your liking, if using, add in the Thai chilies, minced garlic, and carrots and or radishes, and allow these to marinate for a little bit before serving. But once the sauce is cooled to room temperature, your nuoc cham is ready to use. Now for the spring rolls, if using, make sure to cook any of your proteins if needed before starting the process of making the rolls. For the shrimp, if using frozen shrimp, thaw them by running them in some water for a couple of minutes, and then devein the shrimp if needed. While you wait for your shrimp to defrost, boil some water and add in some salt. When your water is ready and your shrimp are defrosted, just throw them in the water and let them cook for 2 to 3 minutes or until they turn pink. Run these under some cold water to stop the cooking process
and remove the tails and shells if needed at this time. You may also cut them in half if you want as well. Then for your noodles, follow your package directions to cook them as they can vary based on the brand and size of noodles. But if you're using the same ones as me, first boil some water in a kettle or on the stove, and while we wait, prepare 2 bowls and add some cool water to one of them. Then grab a colander or sieve and place your noodles in that, and place your colander into the empty bowl. When your hot water is ready, pour it over the noodles until they are fully submerged and let them rehydrate for about a minute. Then quickly transfer them to the cool water to cool them down for a few seconds. Then remove the noodles from the colander and separate each layer quickly before they start to stick to one another, and let them dry for 10 to 15 minutes. While we wait, we'll prepare the vegetables. For these, make sure to wash and dry them thoroughly. Then for the lettuce, you don't really need to do much, just separate it into individual leaves. For the mint and Thai basil, you can roughly mince these up as well, but I find it easiest just to pick the leaves from the stems. For the chives or green onions, you may mince this also, but this is usually kept as a long piece that sticks out of the roll. So just cut it once just above where it starts to turn a light green color. And for the carrots, I like to julienne these, but you may leave them thicker if you wish. When all of your ingredients are ready, we can now start to put the roll together. To prep the rolling station, have a shallow plate filled with some warm water, as well as a cutting board for rolling your spring rolls and any ingredients you wish to add to your rolls. When you're ready, grab your spring roll wrappers and quickly dip your wrapper in the water bowl, getting all of it wet, but don't let it sit in as it will get soggy and rip apart. Then quickly transport this to your cutting board and top it first with your shrimp a little bit above the center of the wrapper. Then add your lettuce below this. Next, add any other veggies you're using, such as the Thai basil, mint, and carrots on top of the lettuce, and then layer your noodles on top of all of this. Then for the imitation crab or other protein, place this below the lettuce. When you're ready to roll your roll, first fold the sides in like an envelope, covering the fillings. Then, just below where your last filling is, place your chive or green onion over the folded wrapper and have part of it stick out if you wish. Now to roll the roll into a roll, grab the bottom of the wrapper and fold this to the top of the bottommost filling. Then continue rolling this upward to each filling layer, keeping the roll snug and tight to keep the filling secure until you finish rolling it all the way. Repeat this step until you have finished rolling all of your rolls. And when you're done, serve immediately with your dipping sauces, and your spring rolls are ready to eat. With spring in the air, it's always such a treat to make some spring rolls to enjoy some fresh and refreshing veggies. I've always enjoyed them growing up whenever we go get Vietnamese food, especially in the spring and summertime. Speaking of which, apparently this dish, known as gỏi cuốn in Vietnamese, is also known as a summer roll here in America. It seems that this discrepancy in seasons is due to a regional difference, as it's more commonly called spring rolls in California and other states with moderate temperatures all year round, and are more well known as summer rolls in states where the growing season for the fresh veggies used in this dish isn't year round. And to make things more confusing, These states also sometimes use spring rolls as a catch-all term to refer to any Asian roll, such as egg rolls or fried summer rolls, which are also known as imperial rolls in places where summer rolls are known as spring rolls. But thankfully, whatever you call them, they still remain a nice and refreshing snack or appetizer to enjoy as the weather warms up and the veggies are fresh. Speaking of which, this dish is of course best served fresh, but if you want to make them ahead, once you finish wrapping them, you may individually wrap each roll in some plastic wrap to keep them from sticking to each other, and then store them in the fridge for up to a couple of days until you're ready to eat them. But of course, I recommend making them as fresh as possible. And for any extra sauce, you can use it as a dipping sauce again, or for a marinade for your meats and seafood, or even as a delicious dressing for your salads. Speaking of the ingredients, you really can add basically whatever you want to your rolls. You can also include other seafoods such as squid or fish, and while not in keeping with the Lenten theme, on non Fridays you can also include meat such as beef or sausage, as well as pork as mentioned earlier. And if you want to make this dish entirely vegetarian, you of course can omit these entirely and just have an entirely veggie roll filled with a variety of vegetables, or you can add some tofu as well. But regardless of what you decide to put into it, I hope you enjoy your spring rolls as much as I do. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video. In the comments below, let me know how it went if you decided to make it, and let me know if there's anything you want me to make next. Like the video, share with your friends and family, and subscribe to this channel for more episodes of the Max AC channel. And remember, if you want to stay cool in the kitchen, turn your AC to the max and watch the Max AC channel. Now to roll the roll into a roll,